Abdul Wahab, aka UK Apache. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't forget the AKA
Okay,
original.
so, yes. Oh yes, original Nuttah. But we'll come to that a bit later.
Yeah.
Okay, well thank you for joining me by having coffee. Are you drinking coffee?
I am drinking coffee. Very tasty actually.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
So you are a coffee person?
Yes, I am. I've become a coffee person. I'm more of a tea person.
Okay.
But coffee has now entered my life.
Who doesn't love tea?
Over the last 10 years.
Who loves tea? I love tea. I absolutely love Tetley tea.
I don't think you're British if you don't like tea.
That is very, very true. Very, very
Even
true.
though it comes from India, but you know.
Another topic.
Another topic.
So, Abdul.
Yes.
You got a really nice, rich heritage background, mashallah.
Yeah.
You know, your mother is South African, Indian descent. Your father is Iraqi, and you're a whole load of mix, mashallah. And you grew up in South London, Tooting.
Yes, I was born in South London. Yes.
Born, raised, everything.
Yep.
What was life like in the household, in your household at that time?
I was born in South London, in Clapham.
Okay.
There was a hospital at that time there, but it's now changed to Sainsbury's. But we moved to our first house. What we bought, it was in Tooting.
Wow.
When I was the age of 7.
Okay.
And it was a totally different setup to now, in a sense of like the area has definitely changed. It's more multicultural now. At that time, it was very predominantly white, you know, and very difficult, as a lot of people from that time, you know, reflect on those issues in regards to racism and stuff like that.
Because we're talking about the 70s,
Yes.
80s, so that's different political situation happening over there.
That's right. So yeah, so it was quite difficult, and the neighbours weren't all friendly and welcoming. You know, they were obviously a lot of them were racist and stuff like that. But I mean, eventually, once we got to know them, after years, a lot of them changed actually, and there was a lot of racist attacks and all these kind of things happening. So I grew up with that in mind, you know. But I didn't have no brothers and sisters. My mum and dad divorced when I was 1. Yeah. So I was raised with my mother, my grandfather, and my grandmother, who are
all in the same household.
All in the same household.
Wow, mashallah.
Yeah, where my grandmother and my grandfather and my mother was heavily involved in the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa. My grandmother was Nelson Mandela's secretary.
Amazing.
And so I grew up with freedom fighters, you know, revolutionary people.
Yes.
Yes.
That influenced you.
That influenced me.
Is that your culture, your own heritage is so rich, mashallah, that what was it about the Jamaican culture that you thought, you know, let me just adopt that now?
I think it was because
Did you leave your heritage to one side, like your South
because
African,
there was no one there really. My mum tried to talk to me a bit about it, but when you're young, you know, and you haven't got a father figure in a sense, because my grandfather was a bit too old to be a father figure. So you're kind of like thinking, okay, you know, mum's talking about nobody's on the, like there was no environment for that, you know, there was not even a Muslim environment we didn't see. There was not like, you know, Islam Channel and loads of Muslim youth, not at all. My name even was embarrassing to have, you know, like Abdul Wahab, my name. I didn't like to call it because people think, what's this name? Like nobody's got this name, you know, so all these things were very difficult. And obviously, there's one thing in the house, and on the street, it's a different issue. Because when you're on the street, you know, there's ways of you're gonna get into. It was a rough time. South London was a rough place. Yeah. So you socialise with people, you connect to people for many reasons, you know, and it kind of gave me a bit of respect as well and stuff like that, which you need, since you ain't got no brothers and sisters, no backative.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to say people who've got brothers and sisters always, you know, they defend them, but being a single child, it was very difficult. Yeah. And I was a skinny little guy, you know, at that time, and you know, I realised that these Jamaicans they got some type of respect, because they didn't take crap really. So I thought, cool, I moved with these guys as well, and I enjoyed the music and I became good at it. To a point that I fooled Jamaicans. Yes. Because I think that, I mean, you got Apache Indian as well. He done his thing, but everybody could tell the difference between him, and they could see the style that he done, which is mixing Asian and stuff. But with me, they just thought I was a Jamaican Indian. Yeah.
I remember your single, not necessarily coming out as such, but I remember growing up in the 90s and hearing your music. But going on to your music now is that you were actually, mu'adhin at the time? Like you were mu'adhin calling out to prayer, and then in the evenings you're doing your nanini wool stuff.
That was a time in my life when I just, this is a long, we're cutting forward now a big way.
Yeah.
But I mean, when the Tablighis came to my door to call me to Islam.
So was this like in the 90s or
This
in
is
the early
1994.
1994, yeah.
Just as
yeah,
Nuttah came out, actually. Just as the original Nuttah got released, I had like a, hadayah, like a calling from Allah. But my mum was trying to talk to him about Islam a lot. But we're rebels, we're going through life, we're listening, but we're not listening.
Yeah.
And we're going, and like I said, I took a lot of influence from my friends.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't Muslim. So we used to go, like I said, my dream was to make it in the music industry, not to be famous with women and money and all that, though that comes with it. It was more for a message, because reggae music was about a message. It was more like trying to do what I can do, where I think this is the gift that I've been given. And, to address the people and be the voice for the voiceless. As Islam Channel says, the voice for the voiceless. I've been doing that from way back when. And, like I said, my first tune was called No Poll Tax. So I was doing all these type of tunes with. So what happened when Nuttah came out? Alhamdulillah, a massive big hit and I actually wrote original Nuttah 10 years before it even came out anyway.
Yes.
This is another mad thing. But then the Tablighis used to come and knock on my door. I used to try to run away from them. So one day they came knocking on the door. I'm not a Tablighi, but this is what happened. And I haven't got nothing against the Tablighis or anything. But they came knocking on my door, and I used to say, my mum said to me that day, go on, answer the door. I'm like, no, tell him I'm not in, tell him I'm not in. No, you're going to answer the door. So I said, okay, I answered the door. So when I opened the door, they're like, my brother, salam alaikum. I'm like, wa alaikum salam. He goes, what's your name? It's me, Abdul Wahab. He goes, mashallah, where are you? I said, I'm here. I said, no, we don't see you. I said, see me where? He goes, at the masjid. I said, okay, yes. He goes, you should come. I goes, inshallah, yeah, I'll come. He goes, no, come now. I goes, okay. So I said, all right then. I said, okay. So I went to the masjid with another brother that became Muslim, alhamdulillah. His name is Dawood as well. That time his name was David. And, the English version and Arabic version, So we went to the masjid and they asked me, brother, what do you do and stuff like that. So I said, well, no, I'm a singer. I said, you sing? MashaAllah, you have any songs? I said, yeah, but he goes, yes, sing some song now. I said, well, in the masjid. This is after the prayer, nobody's there. He goes, yeah, that's okay, no problem, no music, just, I goes, okay. So I think, what can I sing? I can't sing original Nuttah. So I had this song called Assalamu Alaikum. So I started, Assalamu Alaikum and Walaikum Salam. So me greet my brother, sister, and the whole nation. They're like, MashaAllah, brother, you have nice voice. Can you do the adhan? I said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They said, Akhi, you mu'adhin. I said, me mu'adhin? He said, yes. I said, alhamdulillah, I became the mu'adhin. I said, subhanallah, they said, you're going to do the adhan. I said, okay. So I started to do the adhan every Jummah. And obviously in the daytime it was Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. But I was still doing the singing. So in the nighttime it was I read you now. So this is like a.
But this is what I was like when you said this before, and what really got to me is that didn't you feel conflicted within yourself because you're going to the masjid, the best place possible, and then you're going to like obviously we're not highlighting anything, but it's just like your experience. What was it?
Not
what was it
Muslim
like?
Place to go to.
I mean. Finally, because you just said that there wasn't that many Muslims growing up in your neighborhood. Finally, somebody's knocking on your door and it's like, hey, I'm Muslim, and now you can be part of this community. What still led you back to singing None You Were there?
No, it was also it was my income as well. Shaitan gets you like you're going to be suffering from poverty, and I did try to look for other jobs, but people just laughed at me. I remember going to the job centre. And I was waiting in the queue, and then I went for the interview. And the woman said, what job did you do? Or what do you do? I said, I'm an entertainer. I'm a singer. She goes, oh, no, that's your dream job. What's your real job? I said, that's what I am. So she just laughed. And there was a guy behind me. He goes, Apache, please sign this autograph in the job center. I'm like, okay, sorry. and I couldn't really find no other work. So I had to obviously have and I needed my finances. So I was living that life and, for many years and I was praying. But alhamdulillah, it wasn't like I was a person that drank, I was a person that took drugs. I never done none of those things. And my music was always mostly positive messages, even original Nuttah. When they used to ask me, what is a Nuttah?
I mean, I've got the lyrics here because I wanted to say this.
She's got the lyrics.
I've got the lyrics. So we know the Nane Wo guys.
Come on, I want to hear your verses.
And then Bad Boys in London, Rude Boys in England, Bad Boys in Jericho. Where did Jericho come from?
Bad Boys in Jacob.
Oh.
You got the lyrics on the internet,
Oh,
and the guy
yes,
who put that up is
Jacob.
totally wrong.
Oh no, shame. Sorry.
So Jamaican basically is another way of saying Jamaica, but it's the original way from Jamaicans. Because like I said,
We have to
it was a
change this. We
it
have
was
to
a
change this now.
God-given gift that I actually was socializing with real Jamaicans, so I could get real patois talk
Yeah.
and real, speak it to that point where Jamaicans used to say, "You must be from Jamaica." I remember I went to Canada one time, and I was on a holiday there
Yeah.
in Toronto,
Yeah.
and I was saying, "Oh my God, I'm going with." I went with my mum that time and my grandfather. I said, I'm going to be away from sound systems for like 6 weeks. What can I do? And I had no fear.
Yeah.
So I went to this car and there was just some brothers in there, like Jamaicans, they were in there smoking. I just went up to the window. I goes, bless, I'm a DJ. They looked at me like, you're what? I goes, I'm a DJ. He goes, do you know any sound systems? And he goes, look at me, all right, come in the car. So I just went in the car. I didn't know who these people were.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know what the situation. He took me to a set of flats.
Yeah.
I only realized, a state that place was rough. He took me, and they were playing dominoes. Jamaicans used to like to play a lot of dominoes. So they bang dominoes outside. They're drinking a bit, and they're bang, they're gambling. Yeah, I can see somebody's nodding their head. The Jamaicans know what I'm talking about now. See? So they know I've been through the real thing. So this guy said, he introduced me as another guy.
Yeah.
And he said this guy's an MC. So he goes, all right then, you can DJ my youth, like you can sing. I said, yeah, how you mean? So he goes, all right then, come upstairs. So we made a tape. After that tape, they loved me.
Oh
and his brother was connected to Scott the Rock.
Okay.
He was a hip hop guy as well.
Right.
His brother was a hip hop guy.
Right.
Who Scott the Rock got shot in America, big time hip hop.
Subhanallah.
So it's funny, and I remember they had a dance as well. They kept a dance outside of Toronto.
Yeah.
And I was saying, how am I going to tell my auntie I'm going? She goes, don't worry, we're going to come and tell her for you. And they put a nice suit on. And all the language just changed. From Jamaican language they used to speak with me, they went in front of my auntie and said, we really like your nephew. He's a good, can we take him to? And my auntie's like, yeah, no problem. Because my family are quite open-minded. They're not close, they're not close. And when they left, they said, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, respect, man. We went to the dance that day.
Oh God, you've got some bear stories.
There's a lot of
mashallah.
stories.
There's
a lot of history.
We can go.
Yeah, we can go forever.
Forever.
I bet you didn't research that one, did you?
Yeah. No, I didn't know that story actually. But so 94.
So this life, the mixing.
So in 94, you've released original Nuttah.
94 and Nuttah came out, yeah.
And but I just wanted to know really quickly, like, how did you come up with the lyrics? Because if you're coming up with a political message, you're saying, "What me tell me, rude boy, hire me now, rude boy man, I'm a murderer, kill up any DJ by the gun." How is that a positive message?
Kill up any DJ upon the corner. Yeah. Now that part of it, actually, the murder part, right? We get to that. It's not, I think, like physically murdering. It's like lyrically,
Yeah.
Or because DJ that time used to be a mic man.
Yeah.
Never used to be a guy on the decks.
Yeah.
They call it something like MC now. So I think it's more
MC.
appropriate, really.
Yeah, it is very.
But people get confused. Are you a DJ? Are you MC? But DJ was the guy who was on the mic.
Yeah.
So really, that part was just like kill up any DJ on the corner in a sense of like lyrically,
okay.
not physically or something like that.
Right.
Now, and the song actually was. It's a lot of gimmickal stuff like better than the bad boy called the Darth Vader.
Yes.
Lock off the Jedi warrior called Skywalker. Now these people, right, better than, I'll say it slower because I'm sure a lot of people.
Yeah,
what did he say? But what did well, I don't know because I know we're getting viewed all in the world.
Can you say
better
that?
than the bad boy called the Darth Vader. Darth Vader from Star Wars, because Star Wars was one of my best movies. I love that.
I can tell this the influence here.
All these characters in my song, this song, were characters from movies. They were like the villains or the stars of the movies. So I'm coming to tell them the original Nuttah is better than all of them because every MC has a nickname.
Yes.
So you had the first Apache, right, was Supercat from Jamaica, right?
Okay.
He was Supercat, the wild Apache. He called himself the Don Dada.
Okay.
Then you had the Apache Indian. He called himself the Don Raja. So when all this came out, I thought, what can I call myself? I'm thinking, I said, well, I'm British. I call myself UK Apache, the original Nuttah.
Yes.
And it just fitted with jungle being British, original Nuttah, UK Apache. I used to go around, all these artists, they're trying to represent the UK. I've done it years back. Years back. I've done it. I went to America when original Nuttah came out. We kind of opened the door. It's not the best thing, but we opened the door for the grime artists. They know that as well.
Yeah,
a lot of them respect. They came up to me like Wiley and other people came up. I'm sure there's people in the scene now.
Yeah.
They know this track because this track's become legendary.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like an anthem.
Yeah.
It shocks me when people say, "Is there?" I'm like, they like because I'm not obviously I've been like low key for a little while. They assign people like who's current now that he's British and he's Muslim. Like, Sadiq Khan is the MP, right?
Yeah.
But I've been doing that a long time ago.
Yeah. I can vouch for it. Everybody can vouch for it. Yeah,
you know, a long time ago, we've been representing that from a long time ago. You know,
absolutely.
So yeah, being Muslim, being British,
you
know, and flying the flag in a sense.
So 2010, your mother passed away?
2009, yeah.
2009 from cancer.
From cancer, December the 31st. Yeah.
So that changed your whole perception about your position in music and where to go. How did her death in every respect of your life, how did it impact you?
I mean, you know, you always know that this day could come.
Yeah.
I think every child, I used to think, oh, you know, you have those nightmares. Suppose my mum dies, or, you know, I don't know if everybody has that, but I used to think that sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, how would I feel? You know, how are you going to cope? And it came. My mum was always suffering from diabetes anyway, and she was caring for my grandmother at that time. I moved out, I was married that time, and I was always in contact with her, performing and stuff. I'd always phone her when I'm leaving or coming back from a gig or whatever, and, you know, check up and eat together. So when she said that she had to have a stent put in her, yeah, and when they put the stent in her, they found out that she had the cancer. She had the cancer, so and it was incurable. So you know, it was a blow. It was definitely a shock to the system. But I know all I had to do was just to be there for her. They gave her 3 months. Alhamdulillah, that she lived for 1 year. I walked away from everything because I also was doing research after Original Nuttah came out. I left the scene anyway for a bit. And I said I wanted to do more conscious music, even though I was doing conscious, but more religious music. The stuff that a lot of these artists are doing now with music, calling Allah and all that, I was doing it way back when, but it never got released. Because when I did pull out, just after Nuttah came and I pulled out, they said I went mad, the record label. I grew my beard that time, and they said, what's this guy doing? And my friends were trying to kill me because they were saying, are you mad? The next track after Nuttah was meant to be Junglist Girls, and I said I didn't want to do it at that time. And then I went back into the game. So I was studying about Islam, and realizing that, you know, there's certain things you can't be involved in, you know, in regards to the music and all this kind of issue, the music instruments and all that, you know, and realizing that it's not the real way to give dawah or stuff like that. But then my mum got the cancer, so I just left it anyway. I said, okay, this is my time. I just leave it and look after my mother. And I became a carer for that 1 year. And you know, alhamdulillah, in that 1 year we spent a really good time together. And you know, you just reflecting, and you know the time's gonna come. But alhamdulillah, the way she left this earth, it was an amazing way, because even how she passed away, I was there by her bedside, and the story is an amazing story. But she died on 2009, December the 31st, New Year's Eve. And we planned for her to die in the house, but she passed away in the hospital. And it was a kind of blessing, because if she would have died in the house, and that time everything would have been shut and we wouldn't be able to bury her so quick. But because she died in the hospital, and when she died, she put up her arms as well, and I hugged her before she died. And I always say this in my talks, is that when she passed away, I was with my ex-wife that time there as well, when she passed away, our eyes met as I hugged her and came away from her, eyes met. And we never said nothing, but I swear it was like if I was in a football stadium, I couldn't have heard nothing. Everything went just dead. I can't explain that feeling. And she told me, I'm okay now, son. They've come now. And her breathing obviously started to go slower, and then she passed away. And I just looked up to because it was on the top floor in the hospital, and I looked out the window and I said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. You know, from Allah we come, to Allah we return. And I just realized that Allah has the control of everything. You know, that when He takes something, that's it. But I had to be strong that time. I didn't have time to cry. I didn't have time to, you know, to weep over my mum, because I knew I had to get her buried by the Sunnah. So amazingly enough, we phoned the council straight away, and people were locking up to go to celebrate, and it was 6 o'clock in the evening, just after Asr on Yom HaKhamis. It was a Thursday. Yeah. And they said, no problem, come down, we'll wait for you. So I went to the council, and it was all locked off. And one guy was out there with his arm like that with the door open. We walked in, one light was there, and there was a Rasta woman in there, funny enough. And she's such a lovely person. I said, I'm sorry to give. She goes, no, don't worry. How much death certificate? I said, can you just give me? Because my mum told me, we talked about this, what to plan, because she really prepared me for this situation. She even saw where she was going to die in the Gardens of Peace, where she was going to be buried, Came back. With the paperwork, the man for the janazah was already outside the hospital waiting. She went down, didn't even stop in the morgue. They signed her away, went to the masjid in Streatham, washed her, the women washed her, and they said, what did your mum die of? Because she looked so amazing. She said that she had her hair, she didn't lose that much weight, and when they said cancer, they couldn't believe it. And when I saw her face in the morning, straight away for Yom Jummah, New Year's Day, I went back just after a few hours sleep, went back. We couldn't sleep anywhere really. Went back. I saw her face. Me and my son, my youngest son and my eldest son, we were there. She was smiling. The trip on that day usually from Streatham to Gardens of Peace usually takes 2 hours. Because it was New Year's Day, there was no cars on the road. We drove all the way there, and alhamdulillah, we buried her, and we were the first one to bury her. And the brothers even allowed me, I'd done the shoveling all myself, most of it. They allowed me to do it because they were there. I said, can I do it? I said, yeah, being her only son. And then when I got home, the bed that we had in the room, because we had a hospital bed in the room, I saw her pillow, and then I grabbed the pillow and I started to cry.
SubhanAllah.
Because I said, my mum's gone now.
Really,
yeah, mum's gone that time. That's what affected me. When I got home, and the brothers did say, you know, may Allah bless them all, and may Allah bless her as well. Ameen. You know, and all the brothers and sisters that passed away. Ameen. You know,
that is such an inspirational story, mashallah. I can really see why the whole year with your mother really impacted you and changed your ways, subhanallah. And I think that's very important for all of us, me, myself, the crew, the viewers watching, to understand your journey, because I think it's very important to understand where you were, how you changed, and where you are now. And I think I've learned so much from you, Abdul Wahab, and may Allah bless you always, alhamdulillah.
And you, sister.
But now we are going to be moving on to a very interesting round.
Okay.
And this is where we throw some fun questions your way.
Great.
And we want you to answer it very honestly.
Yes.
Okay? And it's called rapid fire. Are you ready?
Rap. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Abdul Wahab.
Naam.
AKA UK Apache, original Nuttah. Are you ready to answer honestly and very quickly?
Bismillah. Fire.
Okay. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Milk chocolate.
You found fame in the 90s. Other than the 90s, which decade would you like to have found fame in?
70s.
70s? Ooh. Favorite.
No, can I change that? Sorry.
No, you can't. Favorite knock joke?
Knock, who's there?
Who's there?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know why.
That's what I asked you.
Okay. Sorry. I don't know a knock joke. Anyway, who's the last person that texted you? Can you say? Yes, you can.
I think last person text or called?
Text.
Majid.
Majid?
I think so.
The producer.
I think it was.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think it was though.
I said that.
Because I bet everybody says that.
Have you screwed anything up and no one knew about it?
Not that I can recall.
Are you sure?
No, I can't think.
Really? No one knew about it? So everybody knows what your tricks and stuff. Anyway, leather jacket or wool overcoat?
Leather jacket, probably.
I can imagine you in a leather jacket, not a wool overcoat. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Good-hearted. Because I've been told.
Yeah.
Strong personality.
Yep.
And Arvid is patient over these years.
Yeah. Wow. MashaAllah. I thought you were going to say original. Anyway, on a scale 1 to 10, on a scale 1 to 10, describe how cool you are.
I'm hot now, so I'm not that cool. I've been sweating all day through the bloody interview. But
1 to 10.
1 to 10, 5.
5? Nah. Totally 9.5.
Okay, thank you.
What is success?
To obey Allah. To please Allah.
Subhanallah. Beautiful. Lastly, tell us 3 things people don't know about you.
Oh God. I'm not married.
You're not married? Okay.
Maybe
1, 2. What's your favourite food?
My favourite food?
That people don't know.
Curry goat rice and peas.
Curry goat recipes.
I can cook it. I can cook curry.
You can cook. You can cook.
Yeah, I can cook.
I didn't know that.
I can cook. I can cook.
And 3.
And 3, I like to keep fit. No, actually, I can say I've memorised a good portion of the Quran.
Oh, mashallah.
I don't think they know about that. So.
No, now they do.
Yeah.
But Jazakallah khair, Abdul Wahab, aka UK Apache. Fantastic answers. You know, just a lot of thinking there, but not rapid as much as I thought it would be.
It's the age.
It's the age, yeah, of course. But because of you're such a team player, you've
Thank you very
won
much.
these dates.
Jazakallah khair.
MashaAllah.
Thank you.
Enjoy, because dates are always useful.
Thank you.
Of course, obviously.
They're beautiful, yeah.
And Jazakallah khair to you for watching at home. Hopefully you enjoyed my coffee session with Abdul Wahab, aka UK Apache, aka Naniniwo. I'm going to have to practice that when I get home, inshallah. But you know what? I'm also looking forward to catching up with some more special guests. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.